a basketball court for people to play on, and they can come by and look at it, and stand on it once in 10 or 15 years, whenever we build a thing. But you have to keep doing what you do. So we do what we do. Now, that shows that stuff can be done physically. But if each stage of the game, the people walk away to finish, the minute whoever's assigned to do a certain thing and you produce just what would assist their assignment, and they walk away, that's their business. See, most people, the government's job is to try to frustrate you like that. But it don't frustrate me, it energizes me. You don't see me, I'm always looking somewhere to build something or stick something on, because we can do it, it's ours. Now, they have the idea of putting out fires, start so many fires for you, and they did that in the movement days. Start so many problems that the leaders going around putting out fires here, putting out fires there. When we had 7 or 8 Masjid, I said, I'm not going out there to put out no fire. All it is, you start a fire and you think I'm gonna use up my time and energy? No, I'm gonna put my feet right up on wherever I'm sitting. And just to show you how I feel, I'll turn on the TV and I don't even watch the thing hardly. Why? Because if they're gonna close the Masjid down, you can't stop them. If they're gonna move out of the house, you can't stop them. Right? If they're going to start fitna, you can't stop them. They're not, even if they can't start it with you, they're going to have 2 people on the same team start an argument with each other, which adds to fitna. Because if you're in the masjid and you have the people there working in harmony together, 2 people in the masjid start an argument with each other, they're on the same team. Some of the people are going to side with one, some with the other. That's automatic fitna. I don't know what y'all talking about. Why? Because destiny, you got a long way to go. You don't let them start fires for you. The only reason when we stopped the slide in Oakland is because DC and Oakland is where we got our stuff invested, right? They're running all them other massages in Sacramento. I can't tell them nothing to do there. I can't have, I'm the figurehead, but I'm not going to run out there San Diego. You want to call it a day? Go ahead. Now, I help them if they want duplicating machines and all that. All the people got all the same equipment we got here. When they leave, you don't know where the duplicating stuff went. You don't know where and they wasn't distributing the CDs and DVDs no way. That's what the people out there tell me. You got 1 or 2 friends in each town. Y'all getting any message from us? Message? What message? I said, don't the brothers deliver, pass out? See, them guys, they with you? I said, yeah. I said, no, I ain't getting that. It's like the people in Carolina. Was that Carolina? Where the fat black man was? The brothers say, if he's with you, he sure ain't putting out your message, because they come up here sometimes, some of them from here. So, well, it's okay. Because that's the game we playing. Let me get back to the thing. So, this stuff about our policy and gratefulness that Allah that hooked us up, and everything that happens is heading in that direction. And that's where we get the idea, we call this the blacksmith, because the blacksmith shapes, forms, and fashions specifically designed tools to do a specific job. And this is where Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala did Musa alayhi salam, and the environmental circumstances of America produced the exact same thing for us. That we're brought up to do a certain job, and like Moses said, he asked Allah to make it easy. This work work looks difficult to everybody else, but it's the most fun and the easiest job I've ever had. Because it says this is not something I gotta do, this is something I get to do. You know what I mean? There's a difference. A job, you gotta go to work, right? You got a job. But if you go on a vacation, you don't say, I gotta go on a vacation. You say, I get to go on a vacation, right? I get to visit this special place. The stuff you don't like to do, you gotta do that. Gotta do that to feed the family. I got it right. I don't say that about this. This is the greatest blessing and opportunity, personally, I've ever had. So, I'm not going to deal as much with tactics as before, because basically, where we are, we're at the, I'm always talking we're at the end of this stage. No, we're always in transition, and we're always improving. But 2018 is actually technically the start of the new frontier. And I went to Iran just to see where he was coming from. And all the stuff going on here, we're just kind of cruising. Actually, technically what I'm doing is, when I was in jail, something came over me a little bit that it never came over me before. Not only was I happy and grateful, but I had the Thanksgiving holiday feeling. You know, family, I ain't had none of those. But I said, if I got the feeling, it must be something to it. Number one, we're going to, from now on, what I felt like was, when we used to run marathons, you know, you run marathons and you got a training schedule. And the last run we would take, about 2 or 3 days before the marathon, was a ritual run. Then after that, you don't do nothing for that day after that. But the day before the run, you take a walk, a nice walk to get you. Now remember, you didn't trained up to the T. You're in good a shape as you're gonna get. You take a good, nice, hard workout for 2 days before. You don't do nothing that day after you done ran. You're a good hard run. The other thing you do is you're getting your body ready to what we used to call it is carbohydrate loading. So for a week before, you eat vegetables and proteins, but not too many carbohydrates. So carbohydrates is what? Cheap energy. So guess what? Your body goes into starvation for what? Carbohydrates. So the day before the race, guess what you eat? Pizza, crap, you know what I mean? All them carbohydrates. Because your body is starving for carbohydrates. Soon as it gets them, it's going to be in all the pores, just saturated, right? So on your run, you full of stored up energy, right? Then you take a little clean out the day before, I don't know, prunes, enema or something, but you cleaned out. You ain't gonna get out there and have to use the restroom or nothing like that. You prepare for that marathon. And the better you are, the better you get, the better you prepare. You talk with her, what's the best way to get ready? You know, you automatically find out what's good for you for preparing for a marathon. Well, we got a marathon coming up right now. 2018 and 19 and 20 is our marathon. All the signs point to that. So right now, this is vacation time. I'm supposed to go to court for this foolishness in municipal court, like a traffic ticket stuff in Oakland on the 12th. I called, told somebody to go by and see him, or I ain't going out there on the 12th, because when I go out there, I'm going ready to run the marathon. The visit last month was a test. Let's go look at the trail, see how it is. What did these idiots do? They took all of my information, you know what I mean, the dummies. And I know that they're detailed. This is a ticket here for, for my van. This is a ticket for my van, right here. And license plate. Now, this is PG County, and this is the $40 ticket I paid. I can even show it to you. So now, they send this. And they say, now, these tickets have a different ticket number. Because I look at the last three numbers, like when you buy it. Also, hold on. They sent in this to say you didn't follow through, thinking that I would just, something must have happened, and I'll just put the $40 in there, or what do I do? This is what they did this for. They got my notebook for last year, for this year. They got all of the writings in the other notebook for this year, and they want to find out, do I have a record of all of last year? Of course I got a record. Of course I got a record. They're stupid. But that's why they sent this, to see what I do. That way they will know, should we just give him his stuff back, or what, does he know what he, you know what I mean? The buttholes, if I'm encouraging people to take this property, well, I got all the stuff packed up for 10 times in a row, I said. Now take it with me. I think I told you all this, didn't I? I took the box with me everywhere. And they got things in the Masjid watching. They got people outside watching. Take the briefcase, they come, and they take those two things. They take them. They give me my briefcase back, but it ain't nothing in it, hardly. And the other stuff, with all of the information, and all of my writings, for last year, it's just not a whole lot. It's just last year. Alhamdulillah. So what they want to do is find out whether I have a backup record. Of course I got a backup record. I got all kind of backup records. And at least I'm going to have 2, 3, 4, I don't know how many backup records I'm going to have. But I got backup records, so this little ticket for this, the other is just the ticket from, you know what I mean, shoppers, you buy the thing. Other, the photograph, copy everything. 4 or 5 copies, just automatic. I copy stuff and give it to y'all. So some of the main things, I could go to anybody and say, hey, there's copies everywhere. These buttholes, they are buttholes now, I'm telling you, they buttholes, they're so pitiful, they're hilarious. No matter what I tell them, they don't believe it. And actually, we want to help the people, especially the people of America. Not necessarily the government, because they're bad. That sounds kind of funny to say they're bad. They are bad. They're warmongers. They kill people. globally by the hundreds of thousands and in the long run, millions, unnecessarily. The bad run that the globe is having now is unnecessary. It's not necessary for people to starve anywhere, because we throw away, Brazil throws away 5% of their food. I don't know how much. Think of the food we buy and we leave it in the refrigerator. We cook a big pot and the pot stays in the refrigerator so long we throw it out. Or fruits, cabbage, the banana got too old. We throw away. Just think, each one of us, how much stuff we throw away. It's not necessary that the people in the world starve. It's not necessary they don't have medicine to cure little antibiotic trivia, right? It's not necessary. It's not necessary that people in Yemen don't have, you can send them packages of oatmeal. You know what I mean? To fatten them up. And doggone simple antibiotics. Some clean water. That's all. Right? It ain't no mystery. But they don't, that's the world we have to change that world. That's unnecessary. It's ignorant and it's backwards and it's mean and it's cruel. So, that's what we're out to do. So, this year or a few days is that period, inshallah. And the last thing, even our trip to Iran was a little just test to see where everybody are. It's their business to be where they are. But it's our business to do what we got to do. This is a great honor and a privilege, and we thank Allah for the honor and the privilege to participate in this global movement. If you watch the news or hear anything, everything in America is going down. All their icons, every one of them, from Hollywood to sports to the Senate. Can you imagine? With everything that's going on in the world, these idiots is up on charge of feeling on girls, licking on their hand, writing them love notes. These people need to be, if you think somebody needs to do time, it's them. With all this stuff that's going on in the world, and they're charged to take care of it, they feeling on little boys. Hey, little boy, what you doing today? And not the medium guys, the greatest ones. And the president feeling on it, said, yeah, I put my hand on her vagina, boy. And they didn't like that. And everybody hears it. Then he come back 6 months later, or a year later, said, that's fake news. I don't know. He done swore, I'm sorry I did that. I didn't mean to say it. Now, last month, the fool talking about that was fake. This boy is so crazy. I don't want to be mean, but you know, there are some sayings that people get the leadership they deserve. I don't think the American people deserve Don. They need help, and we're going to help them. But Don is he a curse or is he a blessing? He's a blessing for us. Why gotta do that to the Muslim? So much so that the white folks say, no, leave the gut, Muslims are alone. My neighbor is a Muslim. Right? This idiot, look. Hey man, I'm gonna close with this. I don't know who hired him or what cabal hooked that up to put him in there. That boy is the exact right man to have at the exact right time to drag America down. Not slowly like George. George was good. George, I never thought that was some old thing. And I thought George was the best man. I call him a downhill runner. That boy, he was dragging, and I never thought, I swear, I just didn't think nobody else did either. I knew that type, I wrote about it, I talked about it. But That boy has exceeded our expectations. And you ought to look at it overseas. What does that fool look like? Do you know everybody is calling him a clown and a fool? Everybody. The Arabs, they use Arabic language, that's a fool. The man, look, American prestige and honor, where? It's finished. It will take a preacher pope like, you know what I mean, immaculate leaders from hidden somewhere, hidden Alabama, hidden New Mexico, somewhere, to rise up out of the dust of something ancient to put this thing back together again. It is not possible. And they never say, well, we got to get rid of this guy. Look, I will close, but to tell you the truth, all them old programs they had, Dynasty and JR and them, Who Shot JR, they ain't nothing. I'm telling you. I used to watch House of Cards because I liked for the kids see a little bit of this how they really, you see this, they do that, they nastier on TV than what I say, I guess. That's how I found out. I never know about it, you know. But last year, when Don got elected, you know that first they put him out, they filmed him a few months ahead. They canceled House of Cards, remember? Till they get the whole new, after Don came in. The stuff they was doing was so boring compared to Don. It was an exciting program. But you have to have an extravaganza to get close to Don's real life stuff. That's real, what's going on in there. Yeah. That soap opera background every day. I have not seen, nor have you seen a week or 2-3 days go by that is not a brand spanking new scandal or scandal revival, scandal reloaded. Hey man, I asked Allah to kind of finish him off and make fun of them. Y'all remember the doers that, oh Allah, make fun of these people and make fun of them. But Allah give you what you asked for. You can't take it back. Oh Allah, I didn't want it to be that funny. But it is funny, and it's for the good of humanity. And it's better that they be laughed in the ground than trampled in the ground. Because being laughed in the ground, we got something to work with. Thank you very much. Are there any questions or comments at all?
No questions. Well, I have a question.
Questions is something some people brought up or anything?
No, I don't want to bring anything up this go around. The signal is going in and out. But,
oh, okay.
How does Iran perceive their role? I mean, you talk about yourself.
That's a great question.
Okay.
Let me get it straight. How does Iran perceive themselves in this period?
In this period.
You may not believe it, but people pay attention to what the things couldn't happen if nothing was paying attention. This last trip, it was fully fired, attention fired from all sides. Their side and from this side. Anyway, Iran is doing a good job. That don't mean there's a few groups of people that are disappointed or not. Okay, you work here, you go to school here in America. I'll give you an idea. One of my friends, he was in Kansas. And in those days, maybe he went back home in 88, 89. Next time I saw him in Iran, they gave me a whole trip all around Iran. They hooked up brothers in each town that I knew, you know, that worked here. It was wonderful. But the brothers had a certain thing. In Iran, they were like movements, like when we talk about movements, they trust people that's been a part of this thing. The brothers that came from here were a great part of the movement. But they was from here. They was Iranians that studied here. They've gotten in pocket now, but at that time, the brothers was not that well trusted because they'd been in America, and everybody knows all intelligence agencies. So a lot of the brothers, a few of them came back here because the first thing the government do is they were trying to get in with them, and they turn people out, you know. Your mother need operations, you can't get anywhere in the world. I'll help your mother, you remember here, just, I mean, if you hear something every now and then. They were specific on it, we told them. Anyway. But Iran got it down now. In Iran, Iran's the only country over there that produces its own goods, grows its own foods, and makes buses, cars. It puts together Volvo trucks and buses and all that. Looked like I seen a new, couple of new brands. Peugeot. They drive a lot of Peugeots because they have factories there. Samad is one of the Iranian produced cars. Some of the people that drive their own produced car. It's a good car. Militarily, the best known people in Iran right now, outside of the Rahbar, or popular, not Soleimani is the head of the Quds force. And if all the kids, I was there last year speaking at the girls' college, and they showed pictures of different people. I didn't even know where it was coming from, but they'd show pictures of Ayatollah Montazeri or you know, some of the great scholars that have passed. Who is that? Oh, that's Mutahari. Some of them would know. But when they showed Soleimani, they all clapped. It's like if you show the head of the Joint Chiefs of Staff at a kid's college, who would know who the heck it is? Who is that? Would they clap? Heck no. And Javad Zarif. He's very popular. Okay. Whatever the brothers wanted to do that was not correct, Allah forced them to where they could not harm. And this is what I've been hitting everybody. Allah ain't gonna let you do. You do what you want to do home. Allah got you blocked in. So they have to. It's not an anti-Iranian crew, but it's a crew of functionaries. They have them all. They might feel like they got a little more sense than the Rahbar. And every group feels like, the parliament feels like we could run this better. You know, the House feels like if they listen to us, we would have a great America. Senate feels the same way, right? The Supreme Court feels like if we could get these people to really, if we could get the right cases and really enforce the law, the letter and the spirit of the law, America would be a better place. So everybody that has a little juice in this thing feels like if everybody paid attention to me or us, right? Now, how is Iran doing? And how does it see itself? It sees itself like it really is. It is the leader of the region, and everybody knows it. It has a strong economy, and dawned and produced unity in Iran. Now, this is not me and my trip saying it. This is from 2 weeks ago. New York Times. So Iran is seeing its own vision on its own, like not with us forcing the issue. It's doing a good job, and it has good projections for the future, and the wind is behind their back. All the enemies, Saudi Arabia. They're just like Don. Everything Saudi Arabia do is cutting its own throat, right? It's just the answer of all our prayers. All our enemies are taking care of most of the, the heavy stuff. So Iran sees itself properly, I think. That's my feeling. And it's sure acting on it. Yeah. And the people is just a little funny are hemmed in. Because things like Don saying we ain't gonna the five, Don hooked up all of Europe. You ought to hear Miss Mogherini and all of them. Europe is behind Iran and the Muslims, on almost everything. The European Union, they wouldn't help Don across the street if he was in a wheelchair. So, yeah, Iran is on the right road, I believe. And so, and we're all in good stead, That's why I'm just going to do what we got to do and keep on rolling. We love everybody. Because we see that Allah got them in check. It's not our job. It's our job to make noise when it gets out of hand. That's not now. Allah put them in check, correctly. Any more questions or comments? If not, thank you very much. We'll try to get back on Tuesday night and keep on rolling. Thank you very much. As-salamu alaykum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.